Today in New York, former Democratic presidential candidate Paul Tsongas, joined by retiring Republican Senator Warren Rudman, announced the formation of the Concord Coalition, a grassroots organization that will be dedicated to solving the problem of the nation's growing budget deficit.
Good morning. I think the clock behind us tells the story. What it talks about is a generation that is not being responsible to its young. And today we are forming the Concord Coalition to take back the future of this country so that our children and their children can live the kind of life that I think Americans deserve. Yesterday I was at the Concord Bridge in Concord, Massachusetts, and thought about all those people who many, many years ago decided this country was worth fighting for and were prepared to give up their lives. What we're here to talk about today is the same kind of dedication to the future. And we believe that the Concord Coalition will be a powerful grassroots organization that will say to the politicians all across this country that the American people are ready for truth, ready to take back the economic future of this country, and have a profound sense of sacred obligation to their children. A lot of the old bromides that have been stated for the last several years by both parties are not appropriate. So today there's a new approach, a new coalition, a new grassroots organization that will say to our children, we recognize the threat that you are under, and today we seek to change that direction. Pete Peterson, I've asked to speak. Pete has been the organizer in a de facto sense of this, and have asked him to talk about the investment and productivity issues inherent in our economic situation today. Pete?
We heard a lot about supply side not too many years ago. Supply side was supposed to have meant more investment capital, but all we've done is to turn into a demand side economy in which we're essentially running amok. So when I look at that debt clock, what I see, Paul, is a debt cancer that is metastasizing throughout our entire economy and our society. And if we don't revise and stop that clock from going soon, we're going to reduce our ability to innovate, to compete, and to improve the living standards of ourselves and our children. So this businessman believes that it's time that we restate some very elementary yet powerful truths about capitalism. Number one, savings is the building block of investment. Number two, investment is the foundation of productivity gains. Number three, increased productivity means increased growth. And number four, economic growth is the engine of prosperity that allows our society to advance. Yet here in America, this is the country that wrote the books on these truths. We've either forgotten them, or worse yet, we have stood them on their head. Now, the biggest reason I'm involved in this and am privileged to work for these two great Americans is very personal. I am a child of immigrants. My parents, both of them, came to America through Ellis Island. And they worked very hard, and they saved a lot, and they educated their children. As a result, my family and I are the beneficiaries, like many other families are, of the American dream. So I am here today because I want to work with these great Americans to help restore this American dream, where the possibility of education and opportunity and upward mobility is there for all and not for a privileged few. I want my children and my grandchildren's generation to be able to both dream and realize that dream.
And the reason we're here is because we believe it's time for the citizens of this country to have another voice. What we expect to do is to go across this country, organizing groups of the Concord Coalition, individual citizens, into a vast network of American citizens who have one special interest, the interest of economic growth and a future for the kids of this country. We do not believe that the current system can do that. We believe it's time for the American citizens to do that. That there are many special interest groups in this country, but there is one overwhelming special interest group. Those are the people who work for a living today, who care about their future and don't want to see the American dream slip through their hands. To that cause, we dedicate ourselves. Thank you very much.
If I could make one final comment, we are not a think tank. We are a grassroots organization, an educational organization that seeks to change the winds politically in this country by educating people to the economic threat and giving them an alternative path.
We are not a think tank because enough thinking has already been done. The problem is not that the solutions are not known. The solutions are known. The problem is there has not been the political will to implement those solutions. What we want to do is to bring forth the American people what the real issues are, to make them understand that there is no such thing as a free lunch, and we all have to pitch in together if we're going to make America strong again. So there are many things that we can look at for economic plans. And we will, in the coming weeks, be announcing a distinguished group of Americans, as Paul said, representing all walks of life. And then we will go forward across this country.
Join us and look forward to this thing becoming a major force in American politics. Thank you.
Pete, hey, Pete. Paul, let's make it work.